I remember the date because I was just blocked out of everything. I had to rethink of how I was going to trade a bigger account. Yeah, I got it all taken from me. The name is Kevin Raher. I'm a pro trader inside in Pro Trader Lounge. Everyone knows me as Trader R, 27 years old from the south of Ireland. I was born in Waterford, but I grew up in Clonea. My family is a farming background right next to the beach. Of course, I grew up hard working, always there. There was a lot of stuff going on, milking cows, doing everything you could, you know, it's just a normal day for farmers. You have to be doing something every single day. Back in 2017, I started trading. Bitcoin was around 3.5k. She had that dump. I think it was just around before that. Of course, there was a lot going on at the time. I had a few investments. I remember investing into Tron, CV, Telcoin, a lot of those coins. But of course, you know, just lost money in the end. How I started trading though, that was more or less from college. Mainly in college, I was looking for different options to make money while I was in college, and I went with this options trading company. Initially, I put in $2,000, turned it into 6 after a few weeks, and of course, lost the whole thing. But I was always interested in how I made that money. So in the end, got the degree, and yeah, I started spending a lot of time learning how to trade. So that was really it. Education. Yeah, I started off on Twitter. Like everyone, I think most people do, they start off on Twitter. For me, I just typed in on the top right, Bitcoin, crypto, and the first thing I seen was fella making money off Elliott Wave, you know. That's the first thing I was like, okay, this fella made money off Elliott Wave, I'm gonna learn what he did. That was the first thing I did, learn Elliott Wave, and then of course you gradually want to learn a bit more. Moved on, found an indicator group, because when you start off, all you want to do is, I want an indicator to tell me this is the high, this is the low, I want to buy there, but of course they don't work like so. Yeah, moved on then to a basic TA kind of group, and yeah, from all that, you know, you kind of learn your own strategy, what you want to do, you know, and your own edge, finding your own edge. That's what it's all about. Of course, I started trading then from the TR pocket, which was a game changer for me, and the TR pivots, and I've created, now it's kind of in development, is the TR bands. It's all really just about your own edge. If you can stick to your own edge, you don't need anything else, you know. My daily routine, it depends really, you know. I could wake up at 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, depends on the night before and what happens in the lounge. Like, I could be up all night, or we could have a session at 12 and I could wake up late, but every day I try to get to gym. You know, I try my best to get to gym, and if I'm lucky I get it twice in one day. I go to the gym in the morning, and then in the evening I try to hit the leisure centre. You know, I try the more time I spend off the screen, the better, because after I hit the gym, I go to the computer, I do my TA, I do my plan, I set my alerts, and I try to stay away from the computer altogether until those alerts come off. And when I hit those alerts hit, of course I'm there and ready. But mainly for myself, 27 years old, it's the whole week I am in the lounge, really. I'm in the lounge or I'm in the gym, but in the evenings I'm just chilling out unless my alerts hit. And then if it hits the weekend, I'm out drinking. You know, what else am I going to do? Yeah, that's really it, I suppose, isn't it? The highs and lows of my trading career. Alright, I must say, the lowest point I've hit was recently enough, to be honest. I'd have to go into this because, yeah, it's just, I learned so much, but I also didn't learn that much. I lost a lot in it. It just started all off. I was trading competitions and people started messaging me to trade for them. Because I was in these competitions, I was always coming out consistent, and yeah, I kind of bit the bullet at one stage. I was like, yeah, you know what, let's give this a go, you know. This crowd, they gave me 300k, I turned this 300 into 500, they came back, you know what, here's 2 million quid. I was just like, okay, alright, let's go. But I didn't have, at the time, I was like, you know what, I need to take a breather. So I took like a week off, and I didn't trade that account because I just left it there. I meant I had to rethink of how I was going to trade a bigger account, because that account was big enough for me at the time, you know, but I had to rethink my strategy. So the strategy I had was 10% swing trades, you know, so stop loss would initially be 10%. I'd take this 1x trade, and if it starts to look good, I'll start building on that 1x trade to make it 2x, 3x if it could. But the max I would go would be 5x. So here I was with 2 million quid. By, I think it was 4 months down the line, I had turned that 2 million into, which was 9.6. I remember it correctly because it was on my birthday. So I went out celebrating, knowing how much money I had made on this account, and I didn't come back for a few days, to be fair. And come back, trade. In a space of 2 months, I turned that 9.6 into what was 18.7 million. And what I was meant to get paid from this crowd was 50%, but because I had my own money in it, they were going a bit higher than that. But in the end, I remember the day because I was just blocked out of everything, and I got it all taken from me. Waste of 8 months of my whole time. I did learn a lot. I did learn how to trade big money, but got it all taken from me in the end from a stupid decision. Fuck, like, it just makes me think about it there, like, for fuck's sake. But from then on, that was my lowest point, you know. That was 100% my lowest point. There was other options I could go into. Some other crowd offered me, I accepted because I was like, okay, why not? It didn't go very well at all, because of course it wouldn't when your psychology is not there. And then I just had to take a few months off, you know. Took a few months off, actually went out and asked people just for some motivation and some advice, and they, to be fair, like, reaching out to these people, they helped me a lot. They helped me get my mindset back together, my health back together, because I was not in shape back then. Because you could just think, like, if you thought about it, if you lost that amount of money, you wouldn't want to go outside, you wouldn't want to do anything, you wouldn't want to see your friends, you wouldn't want to see your family, because you just got used as a trader, and you just, it's just, you know, it's heartbreaking in a way, but you get over it after a certain amount of time, and you rebuild and you move on. That is the main thing. So it was a complete scam. I traded for them, they used me as a trader, and they rug pulled on me, and that was it. That was it. I suppose for people that this might happen to, make sure you know the people before you do it. That's all I'm going to say. Really, you can't trust anyone in crypto. I learned my lesson the hard way, and that's it. So how I got dragged into the scam. Probably because my name was known in the group that I was in at the time, and because I was always in these competitions and my name was there, so the people probably thought I was a good trader at the time and wanted me to trade their funds and trusted me with it. Any advice I'd give people? Know the people that just don't do it. Don't ever do it. If people offer you money to trade from, don't do it unless it's a firm. You know, nowadays you have firms everywhere that you can go out and you get 80% of the profit, and they take 20. Some of them do 90%. You know, so you don't need to do this stuff. I didn't know about this back then at all. I wish I did, because yeah, it just sounds stupid to me now. You know, because yeah, I could have just went down that route and it would have been way better for myself and saved me a lot of hassle. That's really it. Of course, like, you need to reset on your mindset. You know, when that stuff happened, I was in college, I was with my friends, living with my friends. We had, like, I just had to move away. I had to get rid of all of this stuff. I had to get rid of the city. I needed a reset. So I had to move home for a little bit, get the good vibes with the family, of course, like, and then I had to move to a different city and just restart. Reaching out to people is the main thing that brought me back, because they motivated me to get back on the horse and just start trading again and to put all that stuff behind me. That really did help, to be fair, because I don't know what I would have done without them, to be honest. And that's the truth, like. What advice would I give someone starting trading the first time? Do you know what? Like, the best thing you could ever do if you start trading is stick to one thing. Like, I know I'm turned into a really deviation pattern trader, but if you stuck with something simple like SRs, or my favorite would have been liquidity grabs. If you just stuck and traded that, solely that, mastered how to trade it, like the volume on these swing fader patterns, the EXO, you could even go into extra charts to check the footprints, or even ATAS, but you need to figure out the statistics on the volume behind it, or the delta that gets stuck in it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, if you get stuck into just one little thing, right now I'm stuck into the TR pocket, and that's all I trade. All you have to do when you're starting off trading is stick to one method of trading. I must admit, if you could find a group of people that you know are making money and you trust them, and of course it brings a good vibe, it's a game changer, you know, because when I started, I was always looping around these groups and it wasn't really helping with my trading, you know. But when I joined PTL with other fellow traders that are making money with me, it just boosted you on to do better and to keep up with the lads, and they have confidence on your trades, you have confidence on their trades. It's like a rhythm. It just keeps going, it's flowing. If you could find a nice group, and of course, if you could find your own edge, whether that be just basic SRs, you just need to dive into the SRs, or if you could dive into liquidity grabs, just swing fader patterns. It's a simple little thing, but you can make a living just trading swing fader patterns and knowing how the volume on it, the statistics on them, Excel charts, what it looks like, the footprint data, what they look like. You could dive into it in so many ways. Like, for me, I'm a deviation pattern trader, and that's all I like to trade really, is deviation patterns with the TR pivots as a directional bias. You know, you can develop on what you started off with and go into further data. My most successful trade was Bitcoin at 52k. It was coming into this massive value very high, and the value very low was at 32k. There was a point of control there too, and my initial short was, yeah, it was up there. I was trying to fill as much as I could at the time. I remember I was putting limits down for 250k, 250k, 250k. They were not filling. They would come into it, but it was not filling, and I was trying to make it a $10 million trade. In the end, the profit I got off that was initially it dropped 32% or something like that, I remember. The target was 32k, but of course there's bumps on the way down. You take profit, you compound, you take profit, you compound. In the end it was over $2 million I made. But that was the biggest trade, and the loss came right after that, because I think it was like a $2.4 million win in total, not just in one trade. It was a compound, it was a few trades at once, but off this one trade I was compounded. But after that, of course, I got a bit cocky, you know, and my 10% strategy I was using, it was, I think I shorted, there was a bounce off 32 and then I shorted and I had the 10% stop loss. The price came down and then I said, oh, this looks okay, added onto it, price went up. In the end I lost about 700,000 of that 2.4 I think it was, or $2.5 million win. But that, again, it moved in, it took a swing failure pattern. It was a nice deviation, I took that one as well, but that was a nice loss and a nice win, to be fair. So my trading evolved. Of course I started off with the Elliott wave, but then I gradually moved into the golden pocket, and then after a while of trading the golden pocket, you kind of learned, well, I kind of learned that there was better areas to take trades. You know, people always say trade the range, trade the golden pocket in the range, but that's not the place you should be trading. You should be trading the trades above the range high when it takes the liquidity, and below the range low when it takes the liquidity or deviates. So I kind of had this idea of making a fib to try and catch the swing failures and catch the deviations of each high and low. And that's where the TR pocket came into play, but I was using it on altcoins at the time. That's where I tested it on, was altcoins. And then I moved on, I think it was in 2018, I moved on to Bitcoin with it, because there was a fractal on Bitcoin. I was trying because the fractal did a swing failure of the high, right? And I was expecting the exact same thing to happen a few months later, because it was doing the exact same thing, but I was expecting there was going to be a swing failure pattern. So first time it hit the TR pocket, second time I was expecting it to hit that again. So it did hit it, and yeah, I was just, ever since then I was like, okay. I started playing around with it then for a few more months, and then I realized, hold on here a second, this is giving out the best trades you could look for in all of crypto. You just have to wait for them. Make liquidity, pull your TR pocket, and bang, you just hit the TR pocket, deviation 0.5 target. That's all you need, you know. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You just wait for these little deviation patterns, and just, that's your edge. You stick with it and you evolve it then. And of course it came out then with the TR extension. I'm always adding to my stuff, you know. The TR pivots was the next thing as well. And that was all just about statistics and probability. It's more or less for directional bias. Like if you can get a trade off the TR pocket and you have pivots above where the 0.5 is, which is the best setup you can look for, gives you double 80% setup that you can go back and reverse to that 0.5. But yeah, of course I'm changing everything. Now I have the TR bands coming out. That's coming out soon. I just need to adapt to a few things on the settings and should be good to go. Jesus Christ, that's nice. Did you hear that? That is nice. Hold on. Oh man, I should be sponsored by them. Jeez, I had two of these earlier. Excuse me. Okay. Jesus Christ, this is great. Like I'm. You should. Do you want one? Do you want one? I'm f***ing sound, yeah. Happy out. Oh right. Right, I'm gonna smoke a fag.